Howdy there, folks. I'm Gene the Pink Panther. Welcome to part 4 of Super Mario Bros. 3. So we're on the second half of World 3, and at the point that you just saw a little bit ago, rather, I recommend breaking open that rock, like using a hammer on that rock to get not one, not two, but 3 item houses. Yeah, honestly, it's the best place you could use the hammer, in my opinion, because you get 3 awesome items. And yeah, that's the 3rd time that I've won at that sliding life minigame, and I forget to do that one. Yeah, I forget to do the other one, but honestly, it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's actually like the best place to use the hammer to break open a rock, because you get 3 items out of it in World 3, which is one of the harder worlds in this game, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I'm not kidding, it's one of the harder ones. You want to go over here, though, and find the 3rd item house. Again, I really wish they'd just, like, randomly give you an item as soon as you clicked it, rather than bring you inside of the mushroom-shaped house and let you pick from 3 chests. It would just be faster, and it'd generate the same kind of effect. Anyway, though, now we're going to sail back to the dock that we came from, so that way we can press on to level number... what is that, 6? Yeah, 6. To level number 6. So this is an auto-scrolling level, much like level 4 of world number 1. In fact, it's pretty similar, actually. Those little loopy block things that you saw me standing on a second ago, that you'll see me standing on right now. Those ones are actually, if you keep standing on them, they'll fall down, and also if they're falling, you don't want to keep standing on them. Of course, because, you know, then you'll fall and die too. But yeah, they'll fall down eventually, so when you're on them, if you can't go anywhere else, you want to keep jumping or moving from block to block. I recommend jumping. It just, I don't know, it seems safer than moving back and forth constantly. At this part, you want to be careful and not just immediately jump over to the platform that I'm standing on right now, because that red Koopa Troopa takes a second or 2 to actually show up, and if you jump immediately, it'll show up right when you're standing on the very edge of the platform, and then it'll get you. Right here, though, is probably the hardest part of this level. And, yeah, that's because you gotta jump over the Koopa, land on that when it's not spinning, and then get into the pipe. If you don't, it can fling you back and either fling you to your death, or else you'll land on the loopy things again. An easier way than what I did, though, is probably jumping off of the red Koopa Troopa when it's at the top, and holding down the jump button and then landing successfully on the pipe. Anyway, though, yeah, it's not that bad. It's one of the easier levels in this. Anyway, we're going to move on to level number 7, which introduces us to enemies that I've only ever seen in this game and in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and that's the guys that spit up a black ball and throw it. They're not as bad in this one as in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Honestly, they're a lot worse in that game because they throw a big barrel and it follows the terrain, and it's a lot more annoying. These ones aren't so bad. You can duck under the black balls if you're level with them, like on level ground. You can duck under them and they won't be able to hit you, which is nice. It's nice. Or you can just jump over it, which is probably even easier. So yeah, they're not that bad, but they can get annoying, especially in a part coming up here in a couple of seconds, so you do want to be careful. So yeah. Lost my train of thought. Sorry. Yeah, this is the part, you want to be careful, because they also throw a jumping green Koopa Troopa, which, you know how I feel about those when going through stairs. Other than that, though, it's another pretty basic level. Not that bad. I think next is the Midway Castle, the second one. Yeah, it is. This one's actually quite a bit harder than the first one, and you'll see why here in just a second. Yeah, it's underwater, which is number 1. However, though, do not try and do this one with the frog suit. I don't recommend it. I mean, you can if you want, but yeah, I don't recommend it at all. Ooh, I really thought that hit me when I was playing. It was really close. In fact, I actually think it touched Mario's feet. Anyway, though, this is the part that makes it annoying. Yeah, these are ghost blocks? I don't know, basically they're blocks that you can actually walk on without getting damaged, or touch without getting damaged, but if you touch the little ghost heads that pop up and move across them, then yeah, it's gonna hurt. You want to be careful and all that. not too bad, but it is harder than the previous castle. And once again, these things are a joke. 5 fireballs and they go down. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I have no problem with them being easy, just because you play the game for the levels. I don't think anyone really plays Mario for bosses. They play them more for levels. Yeah, I don't win this one. Not that it matters. I'm at 28 lives now. Anyway, let's move on to level number 9. And this is probably hands down the hardest level in World 3. It's just like the first level that was like this. The ground is moving up and down into the water. Big fishy is swimming around. It'll kill you in one hit. The only difference is that the terrain goes way far under the water. Yeah, you have to be, like, making sure that you're up high as much as you possibly can. Yeah, it is really, really tough, just because a lot of these platforms here, especially, there's this big stretch where even this one I'm standing on goes underwater. I don't think it goes fully underwater. You can still jump, which I recommend doing and shooting fireballs. Fire Flower is really your best friend here. You can go into the middle part, but honestly, I don't recommend it for several reasons. Just because, you know, it goes under the water if you're not fast enough, and it's really tough. I made it look really easy, but it's actually pretty hard to do, like, to get used to. You just gotta make sure you're staying up as high as you possibly can, otherwise it will get you. And fire flowers, of course, are a must. And this level, honestly, is really underwhelming compared to the last one. The last one should have been the final level of this world. This one introduces Bob-ombs. Well, for Mario 3 it introduces them. They were in Mario 2, I think, but I could be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure I'm not, though. Anyway, though, yeah, it's pretty simple, not very hard at all. Like, at all. You can go underwater in this one. I believe there's a down pipe that you can take that takes you underwater. Right there. There's also one towards the beginning of the level. You want to avoid the one at the beginning of the level, because if you really want to go that way, you can just swim there from this pipe. You can just swim left and actually go there from here, which, honestly, it just gets you a frog suit, which you're not going to want for the Koopa Doom ship. Trust me, you're not going to want it. I know I'm not showing off what it's like outside of water yet, but you're going to see it later, and you gotta trust me, you don't want it for when you're not in the water. If the Doom ship was underwater, then that'd be something else. Then you'd probably want it. I just hit 30 lives. I gained over 10 lives in this one world. That is crazy. And so we move on to a warp pipe. We're actually going to the castle, like the Koopa Doom ship castle. I love that there's the little bubble that says help. Oh, it's terrible. I'm not going to read these ones anymore. They say the same thing. But look at that. It's a water imp. At least I think that's what it is. I don't know. I could be wrong. I might be mistaking that. But anyway. This is probably the hardest Koopa Doom ship, in all honesty, which is quite sad. Like the hardest of the Koopa Kids Doom ships. World 8 actually has some pretty hard Koopa Doom ship-ish levels, but we'll get into that later. Much later, but later. So yeah, I recommend coming in with Fire Flower if you can, just because that power-up's annoying to get. You gotta be really fast. Well, not really fast, but you have to be plenty fast. If I wouldn't have screwed up there, I could have taken the top to get around all those cannons, but I screwed up, of course, and I didn't make it. You can technically keep hopping on that blue spinny thing that goes across, but it goes so slow. I mean, you gotta be really fast, and even then I don't think you can actually get it all the way to the other end before, you know, you gotta move on. I recommend taking the top there instead of going down the bottom, just because, I don't know, that's me. But yeah, we're already here. I made it look easy, but it's actually a lot more clustered than it seems. And this is Wendy Koopa. She does something completely, pretty different. This is a good one to actually use the Fire Flower on if you can. As you saw, every time you jump on her, she makes another ring that stays in the room until she's dead and keeps bouncing everywhere, and it hurts. Oh, it hurts. Fire Flowers actually make her easier, because then she won't kick out any more other than one ring, so, and it's a flat terrain, you can jump over her very easily, and Fire Flower is actually the easier way to go. Oh, thank heavens, I'm not going to read this one either. Yeah, I'm going to stop reading these texts. I'll keep reading the letters, though. But yeah, that was world number 3. It's one of the harder worlds. The next 2 are going to be a lot easier. Greetings! The white block contains magic powers that will enable you to defeat your enemies. I have enclosed a jewel that helps protect you. Princess Toadstool. I think I described what the music blocks do in World 2, but I'll talk about it later. This was part 4. This was part 4 of Super Mario Bros. 3. We have completed World 3. Stay tuned for World number 4. I'm Gene the Pink Panther. I'll see you later.